Hall, the Grand Kremlin Palace in Moscow, and other locations around the world.
His talent developed at a young age and grew into the incredible ability that he demonstrates at his concerts today. He grew up here in Clayton, North Carolina, and frequently visits the town of his roots.
In this documentary, we invite you to explore aspects of his life and motivation that allowed him to impact so many people through music. Today we're here with Jonathan Levin. He's a concert pianist from Clayton, North Carolina. We're going to talk about his career as a musician, composer, and arranger and speaker that took its roots in North Carolina. So can you tell us how music has affected your life from childhood to today?
Well, so I grew up in this area, in the Clayton area.
Okay.
And I didn't start playing until I was about 8 years old. And that's kind of a little bit late for most professional classical musicians. You know, most people have it had it beat into them from the time they're 4 or 5.
My name is Leanna, and I'm her Mr. and Mrs. Levin, and we're just going to talk about some stuff about their son, Jonathan Levin. So, where are some of the places that Jonathan has played, and what do you feel are his greatest achievements in his music career?
Well, it was a great honor for him to be able to be part of an exchange program and to play Rhapsody in Blue with the Russian Federation Orchestra in Moscow and in the Kremlin, in the Kremlin, which was in the Kremlin. And he's always been interested in exchanging, not just with this country, but other countries musically. And so, for example, he'll be going to Germany this coming year and doing a series of concerts in Germany.
Jonathan was homeschooled, and while interviewing him and his parents, it was obvious how much of an impact homeschooling had on his growth in music.
The Levin family was one of the first in North Carolina to homeschool, and they were involved in the court case that legalized homeschooling in North Carolina. Homeschooling allowed Jonathan to devote many more hours to his passion. So, if I'm not mistaken, you were homeschooled.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
So do you feel like that helped or hindered you in your music?
I think it definitely helped. I was, my parents have always been very supportive, and they recognized my talent. Fortunately, they valued art and creative things like that. And, I have so many colleagues who didn't get that same support from their family. And it also, being homeschooled, gave me a lot of flexibility with my education that allowed me to do more extracurricular musical things and develop my talents earlier on.
Right.
In the early years, like when he was 10, 12 years old, he would get up early in the morning before we even had breakfast. And he would go down in our basement where we kept our little piano and everything and practice about 2 hours before we even started school, quote unquote, or had breakfast or anything. I mean, he would get up early and do that. And then during the day after we finished our homeschooling projects or whatever, he would go down and practice more and everything.
And that's one reason that homeschool worked really well for us, because you could get your work done, schoolwork done in 3 to 4 hours, and then the rest of the day is free. And he really was motivated and practiced constantly. Yeah.
And so you mentioned earlier that you were homeschooling even before some of the homeschooling laws were in place, right?
Right.
And the court case with
The Del Contes, And this established that the parent had a right to homeschool. And so what we did as homeschoolers immediately did was that we petitioned, we wanted it codified in a law. It had to be codified in the law, And we have one of the best homeschooling laws in the nation, the most flexible and the least restrictive. And that came out of the fact that we understood after the Del Conte case settled that homeschooling was legal, it was a parent right. We wanted it codified. And so that's how, and this was again where the North Carolina Home Educators organization was born out of this law.
Today, Jonathan travels across America and outside of America, performing solo as well as with other artists. His main mission is to take away the intimidating stigma of classical music and transform it into something that is enjoyable for everyone.
His most recent tour, American Portraits, showcased pieces created in the States throughout the last several centuries, as well as stunning photographs taken across America. One song that was featured in the American Portraits tour was Rhapsody in Blue, a song that was composed in North Carolina by George Gershwin in 1924.
In the early stages of this documentary, we had planned to just focus solely on Jonathan and his musical career. But after talking to him and his parents, we realized that the drive behind his passion for music isn't just fame or success, but it's a genuine desire to expose you and me to the world of classical music.
That overarching goal is so much bigger than the desire for fame that pushes so many people, and it's inspired us to turn our focus to the community as well.
Several years ago, Jonathan became inspired to give back to Clayton, the town where he found his talent. From this idea, the Clayton Piano Festival was born.
The Clayton Piano Festival happens every year. It's a series of concerts that allows pianists from across the nation to showcase their talents. Jonathan frequently performs in these concerts, but he also gives other pianists a chance to showcase their abilities.
As a part of the Clayton Piano Festival, recently, Jonathan hosted a Valentine's Day Gala on February 14th.
So, you mentioned the Clayton Piano Festival and your motivation for doing that. So, what do you feel is the best thing about that?
You know, what I like about it the most is, and probably the most difficult thing about it also, is that a lot of our audience aren't people who go to classical concerts regularly. You know, we get a lot of people to our concerts who don't necessarily know about classical music before, but then they come and they enjoy it. It's a way of introducing audience to something that seems esoteric and like just kind of cliquish and like too highfalutin maybe for most people, and too like maybe austere and perhaps a bit boring, and making that fun and making it enjoyable and meaningful and exciting and accessible for anyone, for any audience.
Not only has Jonathan had a positive impact on our community here in Clayton, but he now lives in New York, where he teaches piano and music history to the kids there in his community.
Through commitment to give back to both his hometown and his current community, Jonathan has positively impacted the lives of thousands of people by giving them exposure to classical music on their own level.
Throughout our process of talking with the Levin family, we realized that with hard work and dedication to serving others, anyone can positively impact their community.
Seeing beyond your own success has positive impacts on everyone involved.
Right now, you and I can use our unique talents, ideas, and motivations to positively impact our community, our state, and ultimately the world.
Awesome. I think that was really good.
Yeah! All right!
All right!